Greetings, coming back at you here again with another watch related topic. Today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on Sinn watches, the Sinn brand. Now, what do you think of when you think of German brands, whether it's cars or watches or anything? I think of innovation. I think of over-complication. I think of supreme craftsmanship, okay? Now, what differentiates German brands and other brands to me, be it cars, be it watches, is overcomplication, but overcomplication with a purpose. Whereas other brands overcomplicate just for the sake of overcomplication, you know, to kind of brag about it. German brands overcomplicate with a purpose, okay? With a purpose. Everything is thought out, everything is planned, everything is completely done in such a way where you can say it's Deutsche Arbeit, okay? Deutsche Arbeit. It lives up to its name. Now, what's the first thing that I think of when I think of Sinn? I think of the Sinn 104, a very iconic, a very famous watch in the watch community. Everybody loves it. Everybody talks so much good stuff about it. It's a unique design. It is a very interesting and nice watch. But Sinn as a brand in general, like it's very surprising. They use all these different technologies, and even this one, okay, this is the Sinn Classic, right? When you think of Sinn, you think of pilot watches, you think of tool watches, you think of like sort of the everyday working man sort of watch that's built robust and built just very well. Like, to the untrained eye, this looks like a basic ass watch, right? Just looks like a basic dress watch. Nobody would think it's worth, you know, 1.8 grand, $1,800 or more, right? You wouldn't think that. Because from the outside, it looks basic. But it's what's on the inside that counts. And yes, Sinn uses ETA movements, but they add their little spice to it. They add their touch to it, and they always use the higher quality ETA movement. It's not like a Hamilton, it's not like a Tissot where they use the basic, like standard, one could say low-grade ETA movements. Sinn, to me, always uses high-quality ETA movements. And their little spins on it, right? They have this special doppeldicht technology. There's a sort of capsule in the watch. I'm not sure if it's in the crown tube area or wherever it is. All I know is that there's like some sort of capsule. I think it's copper sulfate, something like that, where it draws in any moisture, any humidity that may be in the watch. It draws it in. Like, I never heard of that before in a watch before. I never heard of a watch having a special capsule inside, you know. It's overcomplication, but it's overcomplicated with a purpose, right? If there's any event that moisture does get inside the case or whatever, that capsule takes care of it. They also have these oilless designs in some of these Sinn watches where there's no sort of, from what I've read and from what I heard, like they dump the watch in oil or something, and their movements are oilless, so they're unlubricated or something. Like, I'm not, you know, 100% familiar with all the things they do. But they do some crazy things. Some even use, I think, silicone, not mainsprings. They use silicone, forgot the damn name of it. The little wire that moves up and down with the movement, it's not coming to my head, but they use silicone things instead of regular sort of metal things that some other brands use. But the point is, you're getting an overcomplicated watch in very usable and very simple, everyday, friendly designs, okay? And that's what makes them stick out to me, you know. Be it the other brands, Glashütte, Nomos, Alanga Unzone. Like, to me, there's a level of craftsmanship in German watches that Swiss watches actually lack. Like, Swiss watches are way behind, in my opinion. Like, you could pay over $10,000 for a Alanga Unzone. Everything is handmade, handcrafted. The in-house movements, you know, engraved by hand, put together by hand. Like, this is all mind-boggling stuff for like 10 grand, where you get a Rolex mass-produced by machines. There's very little hand touches that go into it. Like Rolex and many Swiss manufacturers, they have this sort of style. Like, they found success and then they kind of stick to it because they know everybody loves Rolex. They're gonna buy Rolex, so they just kind of gave up on the innovation, in my opinion. Whereas the Germans take innovation to the next level. Think about it. What do you get for $20,000 with a Alanga Unzone? You get a very beautiful, crafted, basically handmade piece, okay, with German pride. What do you get for $20,000 with a Rolex? Just get another Rolex. You just get another Rolex, people. There's nothing really special about it to me, okay? I understand the whole Rolex hype and the Swiss-made pieces hype and all that stuff, but I truly believe that German brands, this is why I bought a Sinn, okay? This is why I bought a Sinn. This is why I want a Alanga Unzone as my holy grail. My holy grail isn't a Rolex. It isn't an Omega. It isn't, you know, a fucking Patek Philippe. It isn't an Audemars Piguet. It isn't any of this stuff. It isn't any of this stuff. My holy grail is a Alanga Unzone, because I know that if I spend that money, I can be proud of it, and you get quality. Quality. Because me, when I wear a watch and I pay that much money for a watch, I want it to last. I want it to be built well. You know, some of these German pieces like Alanga Unzone, so forth and so on, like, you can take it to a Swiss watchmaker and he won't really know. He'll kind of get the basic concept, but it's so complicated that I feel that only Germans could work on it to perfection, you know. Like a Rolex, I wouldn't mind taking it, or an Omega, I wouldn't mind taking it to a local watchmaker, because they worked on thousands of those pieces and they're familiar with that Swiss construction. But I don't think I'd ever take a Alanga Unzone to a local watchmaker unless he specializes in German watches in particular. I would probably send it to the certified Alanga Unzone place for them to work on it, because I believe that only they can do it the way it's meant to be. So I'll touch upon other German brands in the future, but this one was supposed to be focused on Sinn, but I went off on a tangent. Yeah, innovative pieces, unique pieces. Sinn sticks out, okay? Sinn sticks out. When you have a Sinn on the wrist, like, many untrained eyes, many untrained people, like, they won't know what it is. They'll think it's a basic ass watch, you know, they won't understand it. But if you're a watch enthusiast and you meet another watch enthusiast and they see that you have a Sinn on your wrist, or you see if they have a Sinn on their wrist, like, you understand that, you know. It's something that people well versed in watches could pick out, whereas regular people can't really pick out, you know. Everybody's familiar with Rolex, right? Everybody's familiar with Omega, Patek Philippe, right? Many people are not even familiar with Patek Philippe. You know, you could wear a Patek Philippe and get away with it. But if you wear a Rolex Omega, like, a lot of people are going to know what it is. But if you wear a Sinn, especially in America, like, a lot of people don't even know what the hell it is. Like I said, on the surface, whether it's this watch, the dress watches that they have, or the pilot watches, or the Sinn 104, like, it looks like a regular watch, and nobody would actually be able to kind of decipher that it is a luxury piece. But it is a luxury piece. outside and inside. It just doesn't show it. Like, to me, German watches are not overtly showy, okay? It's a silent form of luxury. You have luxury in knowing that it's superb craftsmanship, and you know that it's going to last. It's built with quality, precisely planned. Everything is planned, noted, checked. You know, everything is just done to the maximum. So that's why I own a Sinn piece. And, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy, you know, because I know it's going to last. It's going to last, and it's going to last. And it's, if you get it serviced by, it's probably not going to need servicing for a very long time, to be honest with you. But whenever it does need servicing, send it to a, you know, a person that specializes, or send it to the actual official center that focuses on those watches, and they'll get the job done, and you'll get, like I said, you'll get a piece that'll last for a long time. Will Sinn watches always be sort of unknown or kind of low-key? I don't know. The popularity might rise, but I doubt that. You know, like I said, you could wear a Lange und Sonne on the wrist, and people will not really be familiar with it unless they are a watch enthusiast. Whereas if you wear a Rolex, everybody knows what it is, okay? And that's what I kind of like about it, you know? It's one of those brands that, like, I could pass on, like if I were to have kids or whatever, I could pass it on to them and know that they have, you know, a pristinely built watch. And, you know, they're not going to really have that stigma that comes with the Rolex. Because if you give a Rolex to somebody, you know, you're kind of worried, you know? You're kind of worried. It's value retention, yes. Will Sinn retain its value? I mean, I bought this watch for what, 1,800. I could probably sell it for the same, maybe even more, because it's very rare in the United States. I bought this watch from over the seas. There is a certified dealer for Sinn watches here in the United States, but they always have, most of their pieces are sold out, and you have to be on a waiting list, and it's a bit complicated, okay? Because these are truly European sort of pieces. So that's all I have to say about it. German craftsmanship, German engineering, German over-complication, even in a dress watch. They overcomplicate it, right? They overcomplicate it, but for a purpose. And for the money, what you get with this piece, to me it's worth it. To me it's worth it. You could get an Omega for like $2,000, let's say even $3,000, okay? But it's just like every other Omega, you know? Like I said, to me it's sort of massively produced. Whereas with the Sinns or the other German brands, like, I feel that you get a truly unique piece every time, and I feel that they take pride in that. Okay, they want to differentiate themselves. They want to be different than every other watch brand on the market, and that's what I like. And I see it going up in the future. There's going to be more innovations and more complications, and it's going to be, to me, it's going to be awesome. That's why, like I said, I feel German pieces have more value to me as a collector than Swiss pieces. Even though, you know, I still want my Omegas, you know, I still want my Rolexes, you know, I still want all that stuff, sure. But if I were to have one watch, like I said, it's the holy grail, a Lange und Sonne. If I had just that one watch, I'd be happy. Completely happy. Rolex, if I had a Rolex, I would want another one. I would want 2, 3, 4, 5. I want a Daytona. I want a Submariner. I want a Sky Dweller. I want all these sort of date, you know, you know, you want all of them. But with a Lange und Sonne or a Sinn even, you know that it's an interesting, unique piece. And you know, you could wear it without any problems. It's not pretentious. It's not like a Rolex on the wrist where, you know, you walk around and if people actually notice it, like, they look at you in a different light, okay? The Sinn, like I said, it's silent luxury. That's what I like about it. Anyway, people, take it easy. Long video, but hope you guys enjoy. See you in the next one. Gonna be making videos on other watches. I got another watch incoming, by the way, another luxury piece. I'll make a really nice video on it when I get it. And it is Swiss, that's all I'm gonna say. It's a Swiss piece. But stay tuned for future videos. Take it easy.